Evil thoughts. Why do dark ideas pop up? Most people who experience intrusive thoughts, sudden, disturbing images that often contradict their values, immediately see them as a danger sign. Here, we will understand that intrusive thoughts, no matter how dark or shocking they feel, are a normal and common mental phenomenon. Studies show that around 94% of people report having unwanted and disturbing thoughts at some point. For some, these thoughts come and go. For others, especially those with anxiety tendencies or OCD, they can become a major source of suffering. So why do evil thoughts suddenly appear? 1. Brain is a generating machine, not a source of truth. Our brain is a thought-producing machine that never stops working, much like a heart that keeps pumping. It generates thousands of thoughts every day, most of them random and meaningless. Dark intrusive thoughts are simply a byproduct of this process. Sometimes the brain, especially the threat detection system, such as the amygdala, accidentally produces worst-case scenarios as a what-if rehearsal to prepare for danger. These thoughts arise not because we want them, but because the brain is doing its job, scanning for possible threats. The presence of a thought says more about brain activity than about who you are as a person. 2. The suppression paradox. This is a core law of psychology. Deliberately trying to suppress a thought actually makes it appear more frequently and feel more intense. This is known as the ironic process theory, or the white bear effect. Try not thinking about a white bear for 1 minute. What happens? When we become afraid of intrusive thoughts and desperately try to push them away, we signal to the brain that this thought is extremely important and dangerous. As a result, the brain becomes more alert and brings it up even more often. Resistance becomes its fuel. Fighting intrusive thoughts strengthens them, while allowing them to pass weakens their grip. 3. The error of thought-action fusion. This is a cognitive bias where we mistakenly believe that thinking about a bad action is as morally wrong as doing it, or that thinking about something increases the likelihood that it will happen. Magical thinking. This is what makes intrusive thoughts feel so sinful and terrifying. We feel contaminated and responsible simply because the thought appeared. In reality, a thought is just a thought, not an intention, not a command, and not a prediction. Separating thoughts from actions is key to breaking their emotional power. 4. Hypervigilance toward internal threats. People who are perfectionistic, highly morally responsible, or prone to anxiety often have an overly sensitive internal alarm system. They don't just scan for external threats, physical danger, but also for internal ones, bad thoughts. When this alarm detects a thought that seems to violate core values, it sounds the siren in the form of anxiety. Ironically, it attempts to prove that we are not bad people by constantly analyzing and checking our thoughts, only deepen our obsession with them. Excessive self-monitoring turns harmless thoughts into perceived threats. 5. Thoughts as spillover from the emotional system. Sometimes intrusive thoughts that seem random are actually symbolic expressions of unprocessed emotions. For example, a thought about harming a baby may not be about violence at all, but a symbolic expression of feeling overwhelmed and afraid of great responsibility. A thought about shouting obscenities in a church may represent rebellion or a sense of restriction. The thought appears because the emotion is seeking an outlet, and thoughts are the language available to it. Intrusive thoughts often point to emotions that need understanding, not punishment. In the end, the darkness of a thought does not reflect the darkness of your character. In fact, your horror and rejection of the thought are the strongest evidence of your moral values. Your brain may produce disturbing content, but your response, fear, concern, and the desire to protect others reveals who you truly are.